Have you ever spent all your Glimmer on Trials of Osiris passages because you can't fucking go flawless ever? I mean, ever? Because, oh, his Titan fucking smash is better than your fucking Titan smash, or his Matador is better than your Matador, so you fucking rage quit your goddamn stream? What the fuck? So today, I'm going to make an updated tutorial on how to get Glimmer super fast and super easy in Rise of Iron. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, I already know this, because you just go to Archorns Forge and farm all day for Glimmer with a ghost shell. And you're right. But I recently have had a couple friends who have just started the game, and for everybody else, there's probably hundreds and thousands of people who start Destiny every day, who have never played the game and just finally got into it. The best way to do it is the Forge. If you have a ghost shell with ether seeds on it, that is the best way to go. I have one that I got from my Future War Cult package that is absolutely awesome, because quite frankly, popping ether seeds anymore as consumables doesn't really do you any good. You don't find that much Glimmer. It kind of runs out after time. So what you're going to do is hop into the Plaguelands here, run down, open up your Sparrow, your Disco Sparrow that is.
Let's go tonight. Share the spice of life.
And head to the Forge. Now, the best way to get into the Forge, because the other players don't spawn in right away, is to crouch from a certain point. Typically, I start crouching at the beginning of the tunnel, then you kind of crouch in, and then as you can see, everything loads in. Sometimes there's 6 players, sometimes there's 1 player, and sometimes there's no players. If that occurs, go ahead and just hop back into orbit. Come back in and just go back and do it again, honestly. It's the best way. No sense in doing all these other little glitches that going over through the little tunnel on the other side and going down till you hit, the new area and then coming back up. Sometimes players are just not here. So in the Forge right now, just kind of cruising around. Basically, every time you kill a Fallen with this Ghost Shell activated, you receive Glimmer. Every time you kill just a regular red bar enemy, it's about 8 Glimmer per kill. Then you get up to, you can get anywhere up to, I believe it's 15 or 20 Glimmer for like yellow bar enemies. So it does stack pretty fast. You can stack ether seeds on top as a consumable, but really you don't notice a big difference as far as when you kill the enemies, because you're constantly getting Glimmer. So I really haven't seen a big change as far as testing goes. But right now we are doing, I think we're doing a perfected. This is my perfected, I believe. So there's 3 different types of offerings. There is fused, enhanced, and perfected. The fused is going to be starting off at level 320. Enhanced is 340 and perfected is 360. The fused isn't going to get you that much stuff. I mean, you're really not. It's a very rare chance to drop like a legendary or anything from that. You're going to see mostly blues. House banners is another thing you're going to drop. They're really awesome. It's 200 Glimmer per house banner. You can stack those. You can have as many as you want every time you turn them in, and just stack your Glimmer that way too. But that's not very reliable. And as far as the enhanced goes, that's basically the second tier. It's kind of like putting in a tier 2 in the Court of Orcs. The tier 2, unlike in the Court of Orcs, when you put an offering in here, everybody gets rewards. It's not just you, which is awesome. It's probably a better way to go as far as what Bungie did with, everybody is equal. The perfected offering is going to be your highest tier, basically. You're like your tier 3 in the court. It's going to be a little bit harder enemy. It's 360 light. Honestly, it's not that bad. It's kind of like running a strike boss or something along those lines. I would just prefer to pull out a Galahorn and just shoot the hell out of him and hope he dies fast. With more players, it's definitely easier to take down the enemies faster. If it's just 1 or 2 of you, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't suggest putting in a perfected offering. You can if you think you're badass enough, but if not, if you're just starting out, then I just don't. Wait for a few more players to load in. You will constantly see players coming and going. It's a lot easier. As you can see there, I started off at 11,000 Glimmer. I think by the end of this video, which was, I only did like maybe 30-40 minutes of this, I was up to already 20,000, I think, or 17,000, around that area. Another way to see to see Glimmer coming out of this is engrams. I would personally go in with maybe only 1 or 2 primaries, secondaries, things like that, just so you can keep everything open. So as you pick everything up, you can have it right away. Sometimes you pick up stuff that doesn't need to be decrypted. Sometimes you do. Once you're done with everything, head back into orbit. Go to the tower. You're gonna have all of your stuff there shown. It's gonna be the little white flicker, of course. Everybody should know that, because you're not dumb. But still, go over to the Cryptarch, decrypt all your stuff. If you're already 400 light, you don't have to worry about, decrypting it one at a time and putting it on and seeing what's better and what's not. But if you are, everything in here in the Forge drops up to 385, I believe. You can drop up to 400 ghosts, 400 class items, and 400 artifacts. Those are the things that hold a lot of people back, is probably ghost shells and artifacts, just because there's not a lot of activities that drop it. This is the best way. As far as getting Glimmer out of this, just decrypting everything and dismantling it gives you a bunch. You get like 50 per dismantle, I think, around that area. It definitely stacks. At the end of my little run here, I ended up getting like 1,000 Glimmer out of just stacking things and getting rid of it. Also, the legendaries that come out of it does help with legendary marks. That's another way too, which is definitely helpful if you're trying to buy a gun at one of the vendors, or if you're trying to save up to infuse another weapon or something along those lines. But this is definitely one of the other best ways to get Glimmer out of this, besides just going into the Forge and grinding for 6 hours.
6 hours later.
Must buy Trials Passage. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. There's plenty of other videos out there that show, how people get their Glimmer and materials fast. This is my method of doing it. Please leave a comment below. Let me know how you guys do it. If you, go and patrol and run, strikes or whatever you guys do, it'd be great to hear what everybody else is doing to, get your money and materials up. This has been Polar Bear. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you next time.